Hey, it's Erin. We're back for another episode of Road to the Bikini Olympia. This past Saturday marked exactly 1 week out from the contest, and things are finally starting to come together. I actually recorded a different intro and then found out that my new fitness app will be available today, so I decided to re-record this intro and let y'all know that the app is now available. And for my YouTube fam, I am offering 20% off of the first month with code GETFIT. Squished together, all one word. And I'll leave a link in the description below if y'all want to check it out and come train with me. So you get custom training and a custom meal plan. Okay, without further ado, let's talk about this peak week that I'm going into. So as far as preps go, you either have a nail biter situation or something where you kind of just cruise into it. And I find that typically in the summertime, even in the springtime, it's a little bit easier for me to get lean. And I think that has to do with circadian rhythm and length of days. So as the days get shorter, as it gets colder, metabolism tends to slow down. Our growth rates for everything slows down. So if you're not already aware, hair, nails, even skin turnover slows down in the wintertime. So it's my hypothesis that my metabolism is just a scotch slower this time of year. That being said, I'm making progress. Everything is coming together. I'm at 128.6 pounds this week. Macros are exactly the same. Last week I had some steady state cardio I was doing. This week I'm not doing it. I have a tendency for everything to kind of speed up going into peak week. So I don't want to get too stringy, but I do want to make sure that my level of leanness between upper body and lower body is the same. Really important. Now, we can't do anything about genetics, so if you carry more body fat in the lower body, and most of us women do, so it's not uncommon when you start leaning out to notice really great results in the upper body, but not see so much in the lower body. So it's about pushing it, keeping stress levels, keeping those cortisol levels down, and really working on trying to bring in the lower body and not over diet the upper body. Now, if you do carry a little bit more body fat in the lower body, you may have to over diet that upper body just to get the lower body where you want it to be. So as far as sleep and stress, everything is good. Heart rate variability is good. Resting heart rate is back down to where it needs to be. And I found that, I just can't push it too hard during the last couple of weeks, whether it is stressful situations or workouts. Now, as far as stressful situations, we all go through stress. It is how you perceive and process something. So it's not the individual event itself, but it's how you choose to, or what feelings you attach to it. So for me, really just love Marcus Aurelius and the Stoics and having that mindset and really actively working towards Stoicism and just being on an even keel has helped me so much in the last few years as far as just mitigating that stress. Now, as far as training goes, I am training very lightweight, so I'm doing more pump workouts for this past week and going into peak week and just working on getting about 12,000 steps per day. This week's workout, we're going to be training legs and glutes, high reps, and without further ado, let's get into the workout. Our first exercise is the power squat. Now, if you don't have this machine, which I know a lot of gyms do not, feel free to do goblet squat, leg press, even front squat or Zercher squat would be a pretty comparable exercise. Now for this, I'm doing 3 sets of 20. Feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width and working on keeping my upper body nice and tall. Now, if you have a shorter torso and longer femurs like I do, then you will love this machine or any of the options that I listed because it's going to help keep that torso tall, the upper body nice and tall, and it's going to place a little bit more emphasis on the glutes, which is great. So if you have long femurs, then you're used to kind of folding up like a taco when you do these exercises, these squats. And having a machine or an exercise variation of the squat is going to go a long way towards developing the muscles that you want. All right, so now we're on the hack squat machine. I am, of course, not using it properly. I'm going to do RDLs on it, and we're going to do 3 sets of 15 to 20 here. Back stays nice and flat. Now, with this hack squat machine, you want to make sure that your shoulders are as close to the edge of the pad as possible. And this is going to give you room to leave your spine in a neutral position, leave your neck in a neutral position. If you get too close, you're going to either be tucking your head under or really craning your neck or bringing your chin up. And you don't want that. You want to keep everything nice and neutral. And as I'm coming up, I'm thinking about pushing my hips a little bit forward, tucking that pelvis under, and really squeezing the glutes. So here's a little bit of a better view. Now, weight is going to be pushed through the heels, really important. This is going to help emphasize the glutes and the hamstrings. I'm keeping a nice solid hold on this machine. Now, if you don't have this machine, you can feel free to do dumbbell RDLs or good mornings. Those are 2 really good exercises. Knees bend slightly on the way down, and really think about pushing both up and against the machine on the way up. All right, moving on to the butt blaster machine. Now, the last couple of weeks, I typically will do more machines, and this is just for stabilization purposes, and it just helps me really isolate the glutes. So this machine is excellent. You can do this on a Smith machine. You can also do this with a cable, and you can use ankle weights. So think about taking this movement and just applying it to a different machine or with body weight only. So here we're going to do 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. The pad goes on the heel. It's going to push through the heel, and you want to make sure that those hips are pretty square to the ground. So you can lift up the working leg just a little bit or that working hip just a little bit, but you really want to make sure that everything is square and that you're performing the exercise evenly from right to left. I start with my non-dominant side. All right, moving on to the abductor machine. Now, this one has a reclining feature, so I really love this for hitting the upper glutes. And I've got a resistance band here, and I'm going to strap myself in. And the reason for this is because as you're performing the exercise, you get to that mid-rep point. If you're going at all heavy, there's a tendency for these pads to push your hips forward. And when you push your hips forward, you kind of lose the exercise. You lose the emphasis on the abductors and the upper glutes. So here, toes pointed down, and I push my hips into the back of the pad and use that resistance band to kind of tether myself to the machine. And really focusing on keeping constant tension on the upper glutes and the abductors here. Just getting an overall good pump. And you can do this with a band, you can do this with a cable, and you can also do body weight and side plank. That was the featured workout for this week. If there's something particular that you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments below. Now, this week in Vegas is going to be crazy. I'm going to try to get as much behind the scenes footage as possible for y'all. I'm bringing my trusty iPhone with me with the tripod, and I'll try to get some people to video also. Thursday, we have our athletes meeting at 2:30 p.m. and then we have the Meet the Olympians, which is from 7 to 9 p.m. on Thursday night. And that's where we get to do a meet and greet and, sign autographs, take pictures, and it's really just a great event. This is like the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. So really excited and honored to be there. I think there will be close to 80 bikini girls. So the show is going to go on for a very long time. If you can't make it to Vegas, be sure to check out the live stream. I believe it's MrOlympia.com. They have the live stream available for Friday and Saturday. You definitely don't want to miss it. It's going to be a huge event. So we go on Saturday morning. It starts at 9 o'clock, but I'm guessing we'll be on probably around 11 or 12 p.m. and that is Las Vegas time, so that's Pacific Standard Time. So it's going to take quite a while before we're on stage, and then finals will start at 7 p.m. and I will get as much footage as possible, maybe some check-ins with Coach Kim, and I'll show you some of the foods that I'm eating. And I'm actually sneaking in, it's an electric skillet, so I will do that so I can cook some oatmeal or cook extra rice if I need to, or just heat up some food. It's just nice to have an electric skillet because you don't always have access to a microwave. And then if you want to make something like eggs, it's way better in the electric skillet versus in the microwave. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Keep up the fantastic work and keep training hard, y'all.